Well, good afternoon. Today is Friday, August 30th. Only one more day left of August. Oh, geez. This month went by. This whole summer has flown by. But we have birthdays today. Today is my nephew Mike's wife, Lauren. Today is her birthday. Today's Lauren Manning's birthday. So, Lauren, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lauren. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Mike's best friend, Eric, who goes by Dodie. Today is Eric's birthday, but everybody knows him affectionately as Dodie. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dodie. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I'm sure Mike is celebrating big time with the both of you today. Anyway, we have other birthdays too. It's also Deborah Decker's birthday. So Deborah, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Deborah. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Kim Reed, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kim. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Natalie Johnson, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Natalie. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. And Janet, Maurath. She said it's Marath. So Janet, hopefully I still said it right even with the way you told me to pronounce it. But it's Janet's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Janet. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you have a great, great birthday today. My birthday's coming up. 8 more days. Also, West Virginia running down, a whole bunch of other people that celebrate their birthday with me. Wait till you hear my birthday songs on my birthday, because there's a lot of us that have the same birthday on September 7th. But we have an anniversary today, because today is Bill and Sherry, and the name of her channel is The Lion's Share. Today is their 51st anniversary. 51 years. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary. Well, I hope you have a great anniversary, 51 years. That's pretty darn good. Tomorrow it's supposed to cool off and we can finally get back to our walking and sitting outside and reading because it's not so stinking hot. And just getting back enjoying the last few days of summer. It's not, I know summer's all the way till the, 22nd of September, but it gets cool fast here in Michigan. So I'm going to sit outside as much as I can because as soon as the window closes, as they say, that I have to stay in. Wah, 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 wah. Christy brought me another book today, which is going to be way down on my reading list. But I'll show you which book she picked. Because a lot of people ask me which book. This is the book that she's just finished. The Holdout by Graham Moore. But I have 3 books, 3.5 books, because I didn't finish the other book. I started reading last night. I thought I'd finish it yesterday. Remember I told you I was going to finish reading it? No. I went to bed early. I went to bed at 12:30. That's early for me. I know most people say, that's not early, Sandy. That's kind of late. But for me, that's early. Went to bed at 12:30. And then when I got up this morning, Christy came over with Sophia and she cut the grass. And Christy and I watched a little bit of Big Brother. On a side note, I really do think that Tucker threw that competition yesterday. I think he was just done. I think he was just ready to go. So you won't convince me that he did. Even Julie Chen asked him, did you throw that competition? And he says, no, I just didn't understand it. No, he threw the competition because he saw how the other two were doing it and he still continued on the wrong way doing his. You'll never convince me because he couldn't get his way. Wah, wah, wah. He wasn't one of my favorite players anyhow. But I think he kind of gave up. I really do. I just think that he just thought the things weren't looking his way. He was mad at T-Car because T-Car didn't do what he wanted her to do. And I'm thinking, I always think that that's so odd that it's like, it's not your, I know, going on and on about Big Brother, and half of you don't watch it. But anyway, it's like, if things just didn't go your way, you're going to, that's my ball, I'm going home, like that kind of thing. It was just, I wanted him gone anyhow. And if they would have kept him in, that would have been more foolish of them, because he really was a strong competitor and he could have won that game last night, hands down. Maybe not completely like a runaway, because Mackenzie would have gave him a run for his money, but he didn't even try. You won't convince me. You just won't convince me. Sorry, you just won't. So anyway, we watched a little bit of the live. It was boring. They were all just laying around doing nothing. And then we talked about my birthday dinner we're going to do on Monday. And so then Jimmy called, and he had it mixed up because he was bringing something and Samantha was bringing something, and really only one of the two of them had to bring something. So we got that straightened around. And then Jim and I went to this place over by us that's like a, I don't know, like an insurance broker, I guess. Like they would look up all the different rates of all the different places to find the cheapest insurance. And they found one that's probably for the whole year, because they go by, what I have is a 6-month policy, and they had a 1-year policy. But the 1-year policy was almost $500 cheaper. That's a lot of money, you know. That's it. So I called my State Farm, but they had left early for the weekend. I forgot it's the holiday weekend. Because as we were leaving, they were locking the doors. If I would have known that, we wouldn't have went. Because we got there like I always hated those last minute shoppers when I worked at Montgomery Wards, and they'd sneak in like about 5 minutes before the store closed. And then they'd shop for a half an hour because they were there before the store closed. Nonetheless, that we wanted to go home, we'd give them the evil eye and everything. But they still continued to shop. You know, they'd give you all the announcements and stuff like that. When I was working at the Mount Clemens store, and I really loved it there. And then there was this big fiasco going on that long story short, the store manager was having an affair with one of the associates at another store, and she wanted to be working there so she could be close to her love dove that she was cheating on, because they both were married, but they were both cheating on their spouses. And so I'm the lucky one that got transferred out to go to a store that I did not want to go to. And they didn't do things the same way as all the other stores. And so it was, I don't know, it was kind of an awakening when I came there. I was very well liked. I really was very well liked. But I did see prejudice from a different side, from a different point of view, because I was working at a mall that was mostly black. And in the store where I worked, there was 160 associates, and only 7 of us were white, and the other 153 were black. And the mall itself was mostly black. And so I saw the good in people, I saw the bad in people, and I got to see from the flip side of how things were. But anyway, the 7 people, which is unfortunate to say, the 7 white people were managers. It's like, it's just sad. That just to me was not right. But anyway, so when I got there, I had a meeting with all of my associates. That's what we call them, associates, employees, whatever. And I told them, the full-time people, to just pick one day during the week that they wanted as their permanent day off, that was going to always be their day off no matter what. And also I told them that they could pick, what I did was we had an early weekend, a late weekend, and a weekend off. So the early weekend, you would work on a Saturday from like 8 to 5, and then you'd have Sunday off. And then the next weekend, you would work like Saturday from 12 to closing, but then you'd work Sunday all day. But then the following weekend, you'd have it off completely. So your day of the week, you either had at least one weekend a month you had off, and you always knew what day was your day off. And then you had to work, which I did. This was what I said, that you had to work at least one night during the week, because one night was going to be a Saturday night anyhow, and that you could pick one night during the week that you wanted to work nights. And so everybody and then the part-time people, I just asked them their schedules that they would prefer. I couldn't promise them that, because part-time people, it's kind of hard to work at, but full-time people, like you should have a set schedule. So everybody, they didn't believe me. They didn't believe me at all. And so then I would, give them their schedules and stuff like that. And when I hired somebody, I would always tell them how I was working the schedule. And I said, I do expect you to work one Sunday a month, just one Sunday. And the first time you don't show up on a Sunday, consider that your last day of work, because I just think that, like you have a whole month, I'll let you know a month in advance when your Sunday is so that you can make plans. And so they would always say, well, I go to church. And I'd go, I go to church too. I make arrangements to go. If you tell me what time your services are at, I'll arrange your schedule so that you can still attend your church services, but you're still going to work on Sundays. But the first time you don't show up for a Sunday, don't bother coming in on Monday because you don't have a job. I had a few people test me on that, and even when I would hire people, and I would always tell them, I'm going to give you at least 2 weeks before I'm going to put you on a Sunday. And you can ask the other associates if I've let people go, because I have let people go, and they wouldn't believe them. And I've had more than one come in on Monday and say, my time card doesn't work. You don't work here anymore. You didn't show up yesterday. I know that's kind of mean on my part, but everybody liked the fact that I gave them a schedule that they could, adhere to, that they could make arrangements for babysitters or doctor's appointments. I had the lowest call-in rate for sick people, like when people called in sick. I had the best attendance record because people knew when they were supposed to be working, because they could get their schedule and just know that this is how they were going to work. And other departments, they wanted to transfer into my department, so the other managers are kind of like a pissy at me because they didn't like that I did that. But anyway, this comes back to the fact that one of the practices that they didn't have, any store I ever worked at, is, and if they still do this if you really listen, because I've been in stores and you do hear it, is like you would say, like at 8:45, attention shoppers, the store will be closing in 15 minutes. And then we would do it again at 10 minutes and say, attention shoppers, the store will close in 10. And then we do it at 5. And then we would say the store is now closed. So they had a whole 15-minute notice. So I would get upset with people that would sneak in the door like just before, because they knew that they didn't have that much time, and I knew that the people that I worked with wanted to go home. So what I would do, which is another thing that could piss people off, is like only one manager would work at night, and I would go and I would only have one person working on the second floor and only one person working on the first floor, and let everybody else go home. And so then the people would have to wait in line. Now, the people agreed to it because they knew they only had to do it once every 6 months, because it's usually only 6 people in a department. And but that they would know that if it came 9 o'clock and it was time to go, they could go, unless it was their turn to stay and wait for the people. And then they'd say, I'd like to see a manager. And I'd go up there and I'd say, the store closed at 9 o'clock. It's 9:30. You're lucky they're waiting on you still. And I always told my employees, because you were never allowed to give a refund, always be nice. Always start off being nice. You can get nasty somewhere along the line, but always start off being nice, because being nice always pays off, I feel, in life. But I would tell people that if somebody, and that was another thing, they always paged you by your number. I didn't want my associates paging me by my number. I have a name. Call me by my name. But if a customer's giving you a hard time and you don't want to give them a refund, page me as Sandra. But if they've been very nice to you and they're very understanding, but you're not allowed to do it because you have to have a key and all that, page me as Sandy. And when I get to the register, they'll get what they want. You'll get what you want. So once again, many a time when they page me as Sandra and I refused to give them a refund, they'd go to the store manager, and the store manager would call me in, and I'd sit in there and he'd say, Sandy, what are we going to do with you? And I'd say, they just need to be more nice. They just need to be nicer to the employees. Because I said, you notice that my people always show up because I treat them well. The other managers, not so much. So I've always believed in my life, and I've told my children and I tell my grandchildren, be kind to people. Even if somebody's being really nasty to you or something, try to see the brighter side. Try to see, maybe it's just a bad day for them. Now, granted, there are people that are just going to be ornery all the times, every single day of their life. I kind of feel sorry for those people, because what's going on in your life that you can't find any happiness? It's just, if you really look, sometimes you got to look. I'm not going to say you don't. Sometimes you really, really, really have to look really, really hard to find happiness. Not every day is a happy day. It's just not. And so everybody's going to have a bad day, and everybody's going to be ornery. But that person that's ornery all the time, I feel sorry for them, and I go out of my way to be nicer to them, which probably aggravates them more because they probably just want to be ornery. But I really do believe in my heart of hearts that if you're nice to people, sooner or later they'll be back and be nice to you. And so all you can do is try and just kind of go out. And you don't know. Somebody might just be having a really bad day, and you don't know what's going on in their life, and you don't know what kind of trials and tribulations they're facing on a daily basis. So don't base that one encounter on how that person is. Give them a few times, really. I mean, we had some really ornery customers, let me tell you. But I would have to tell you, and I loved working with the public. I'm probably one of the few people, and maybe nowadays I might not like working with the public, but when I worked with the public, which was a different time, I know, different time and era, but I would say that for every 100 customers I had, I might have had one that was really obnoxious and ornery. Probably maybe 10 that were like on the on the cusp. But I would say like at least 89 to 90 people out of 100 were nice and kind, and I enjoyed working with them. And I did enjoy working with the public. I really did. But then again, I can talk to anybody. I can talk to the wall if I had to. If I'm alone, I'll just talk. I'll just talk. Not that I just like to hear my voice. It's just that I just really, truly believe that if you're nice to people, eventually it's going to come back and hit you. It's a smack in the face. It's going to hit you smack in the face. Something nice is going to happen to you in your life. And if it doesn't, what did you lose? What did you lose? You didn't lose anything. You just had a good life. You just had a happy life, not so miserable. Because some people just really have a miserable life, and sometimes it's through no fault of their own. It's just circumstances that they're dealt with. But I don't know. I don't even know how I got on that rant. Oh, talking about people that snuck in the store at the last minute. Don't sneak into a store at the last minute. Please don't. I know even now people don't like that. Or at a restaurant. Don't linger in a restaurant either. That always annoys me too, because those people make their money by you rotating the tables. So eat your dinner. Have a nice... I'm not saying the minute you put the last forkful of food in your mouth, you got to be out the door. And if you're going to hang around, tip accordingly. Figure out that they're losing money by you sitting there. Because, you're not doing them a big favor. They're doing you the favor by taking care of you. So, okay. Sandy, you've rattled on about absolutely nothing today. Absolutely nothing. Welcome to my world. Anyway, let's talk again tomorrow. Hopefully I see you then. Bye-bye.